of the regular season, and we have a great one, a top 10 matchup as the number 7 Crimson Tide of Alabama visit number 1 Oklahoma. Take a look at the current rankings. These are the rankings as the teams head into the conference championship and the postseason through April. Hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with Allie Raceman, my fellow Olympian, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Allie, glad to have you here. Now, the Oklahoma Sooners have been ranked number 1 for 2 straight years. It's almost unbelievable. And Alabama, of course, is really building some momentum late in the season, so we should have a good meet today, shouldn't we?
Absolutely. It is week 11, so these gymnasts have been competing non-stop for a while. So at this point of the season, I think we can assume they're mentally and physically exhausted. And then you add the pressure on top of that Oklahoma has of being number 1. My coach used to always tell me that being number 1 is the hardest place in the world to be because all eyes are on you and everybody wants to beat you. And then you have Alabama, and they have a different type of pressure because tonight they can actually improve their rankings. And when we spoke to head coach Ashley Johnston, she told us she likes to ask her athletes who can handle the hard better.
Well, it's a big day and an emotional day for many of the athletes in the room. There are 7 Oklahoma Sooners who will be celebrating Senior Day today, and these are some of the greatest of all time for the Sooners. They have never lost a meet in Lloyd Noble Center in their careers. Incredible. And now the Sooners have been dealing with some illness, and so we'll see who makes the lineup today. There was strep throat going around with the team. Now, Luisa Blanco from Alabama leads that team that has won 6 national championships. She's coming off a big week last week where she got 2 perfect 10s, Allie.
So well deserved. Watch her hips open before she sticks that landing, and I love this celebration here. So much hard work goes into that moment. And then on floor, she does a beautiful double pike, legs glued together. And I love the way that her teammates celebrate with her as if they got a 10 themselves.
Let's remind everyone how a dual meet works in college gymnastics. Each team will put up 6 athletes on each event. You count just the best 5 out of those 6 scores towards their team total. And the home team starts in what we call Olympic order, which is on the vault. They finish on the floor. The visiting team, Alabama, will start on the bars and have to finish on the challenging balance beam. 4 rotations of competition, and we are set to go with sophomore sensation Faith Torres competing in the all-around today, and she has had a spectacular year so far, Ellie.
She really has, and when we spoke to Coach KJ Kindler, she said this is the most improved athlete on the team. Yurchenko, 1.5, a little bit of under rotation, so she's not only going to get a deduction for the hop, but because it was under rotation, an additional 10th deduction as well.
Oklahoma, number 1 team in the country on vault because of those difficult vaults and usually quite consistent landings.
Yeah, most teams struggle to have 6 10.0 on vaults, but Oklahoma has over 10 that they can choose from.
Lily Hudson will lead off for the Alabama team. You can see the lineup of 6 athletes in the lineup today. They're currently the 3rd ranked team in the nation on this event. This is among their best events.
Yeah, head coach Johnston told us that Lily is their rock. This is why Lily is starting off on this event. It's so important to set this team off on the right tone. Blindfold just a little bit off on that, connected right into a double tuck dismount. Great stuff landing. I think the judges are going to take a little deduction because she had a little bit of a squat on that dismount.
Hudson competing in the all-around today. 2 all-arounders for Alabama, meaning they're competing in all 4 events. She'll compete along with Luisa Blanco in their lineup. The Oklahoma Sooners. Now up is Kira Wells, the freshman from Kansas. Faith Torres led off OU with a 9.8 with that first vault. Remember, 6 athletes compete. You count the best 5 out of 6 towards the team total.
Yurchenko, 1.5 twist. Beautiful control on that landing. Just a small hop. I think the judges will only take half a tenth on that. This vault is out of a 10.0. Same vault that we saw from Faith.
One of the two freshmen who have really been contributing this year for the Sooners, KJ Kindler. Just an amazing, iconic record. 18th season at Oklahoma. They've won 6 national championships. She's the only coach in collegiate history to bring 2 teams to the NCAA finals. She did it formerly at Iowa State when she was there, and then came down to Oklahoma and has dominated for the last decade. Chloe Lacourcier now for Alabama.
I love Chloe's form on this event. She just floats from one bar to the next. Hard to find a deduction. Even with that half twist right there, her ankles were glued together. Full in dismount. Oh, almost a stuck landing. A little bit over-rotated, had a little too much power there.
Big enthusiasm from Gina Quinlan. She is the assistant coach responsible for some of their work on the bars at Alabama.
At the end of the routine, keep in mind how tired and fatigued these gymnasts are. It takes a lot of endurance. So she had a little bit too much energy at the end of that routine.
Lacourcier, big expectations for her. She's a freshman just out of San Diego. Kara Wells had the 9-9 on vault in that second spot. That brings up Jordan Bowers, who's one of 4 athletes today competing for the Sooners in the all-around. This could be spectacular.
Beautiful. I saw her nail it in warm-ups. Coach Kindler told us that she's consistently sticking it in practice, and she's waiting for it in the competition. So close there. Same vault we've seen from her teammates. Even in the slow motion, you see that her ankles and her feet are glued together. That is so hard to do. It's pretty impressive when you watch a slow-mo, and it's hard to find any deduction.
She has competed in the all-around in all 11 meets for the Sooners this year, and has incredibly consistent scores. Shania Adams now, the senior, up after Lacourcier had a 9.85. Lily Hudson led off Alabama with a 9.825.
I like how she's taking her time, and that pirouette was so beautiful because she held it at the top of the bar. Just like handstands like that, the judges are looking for you to hold that handstand. Double tuck dismount. Would you give that a stick? It looked like a little slide.
Well, don't get me going on scoring these days, because I think what's happened is the gymnasts have now superseded the quality and consistency of judging, so I don't guess anymore. But one of the greats of all time for Alabama, Ashley Johnston, in her second season at Alabama, she won a couple of national titles herself when she was competing there, and now she is in charge of the program, and really impressed with the momentum that they're building. They started off a little slow this year, but big finish so far. Kat Lavasser, this could be a huge vault. She scored a perfect 10 earlier this year.
This vault is, I think, one of the best in NCAA. Wow. Oh, so close. So beautiful, the form that she has.
We got congratulations from Lou Ball, the associate head coach and husband of KJ Kindler. He's so proud of his vault team and consistency. They have 10 athletes in their lineup that can do 10-0 vaults.
It's pretty remarkable. Watch the height that she gets. Watch her knees and her feet are stuck together the entire time. There's so few gymnasts in the world that could do that.
She lands almost 7 feet from the vault table. Incredible athleticism for these athletes, and we're going to ID some of the physics that go into that incredible vault in a few moments. Maddie Walagora now, the senior out of Rochester, Michigan, coming after Shania Adams, had a 9.925. Now, I saw Walagora a couple of weeks ago when Alabama went to LSU, and she had a mistake, only scored 8.4. Was out of the lineup last week, but seems to be back in it this week.
Yeah, I think it just shows how fantastic of a competitor she is, because there's clearly no issues today. It takes a lot of courage to go back into the gym and improve. It can kind of mentally startle you a little bit if you fall and make a mistake, so I'm really happy and proud of her to see that. Watch the height on this Jaeger. She has so much time to open up, spot the bar, connects it immediately, so she's going to get bonus points. And then a double layout dismount. We get a different angle from the judges, so they might not see that little leg separation that we saw.
Alabama doing a nice job on the bars. They have to keep it close here in this competition because the Sooners have rarely trailed in any competition this year. Here is the other freshman, Hannah Scheibel.
college gymnastics are doing the front pike half, so I love to see that.
Levasseur before her had a 9.9, so the Sooners so far have a 9.8, 2 9.9s, and a 9.925. This is more evidence of why they are one of the top scoring teams in the country on vault, because of their explosive, difficult vaults and just superb execution all around.
Absolutely. I think Oklahoma does hit better than anybody else. Their form is pretty unmatched.
This is Cam Machado now. 9.825 the score for Waligora.
Pack Salto. The best gymnasts on bars take it one skill at a time and have a rhythm. You want to have the same rhythm in practice that you do in competition, which is so much easier said than done. Because when you're in practice, you're not as nervous as in the competition. Great connection, blindfold into the double tuck dismount. This was the only major deduction I saw. Didn't quite hit that handstand at the top of the bar, but still managed to connect it into that double tuck dismount. Controlled the landing very well.
And competing on vault for the University of Oklahoma, Ava Sigfeld.
Ava Sigfeld, the sophomore out of Virginia. Very powerful vaulter after Hannah Scheibel got a 9.875. She's in the anchor spot today. Such power.
Yeah, Ava's first competition this season was last week. She was out the entire season because of a concussion, so I'm really happy to see that she's back out there competing and she's doing so well.
First time in the lineup last week, a 9.9 for her. Tonight, we'll have the exclusive live announcement of the 68 team NCAA Women's Championship field. We'll break down every team and every matchup in each region at 8 Eastern on ESPN and the app. Luisa Blanco, who has literally had one of the great college careers of all time with championships, titles, fabulous execution, and perfection throughout, will be the anchor competitor after Cam Machado had a 9.925.
Yeah, what stands out to me about this bar routine is her toe point. Beautiful full in dismount, even points her toes in the dismount. That's exactly why she's picked to anchor this team.
This year she scored perfect 10s on both vault and floor. She has a season high of 9.95, and you can see why. Blanco, the graduate student out of Dallas, did her club training at Woga Gymnastics that trains so many world and Olympic champions.
Yeah, I love how her knees are even glued together on this dismount.
9.95 for that routine would give Alabama the lead, which would be a big boost for them here after the first rotation. The Oklahoma's final competitor, Ava Sigfeld, had 9.85. So the Sooners had 3 scores 9.9 or better. Sooners typically averaging 9.9 on vault, so a little behind their pace. And a 9.975 is the score that comes in for Luisa Blanco. We'll update the scores, but when we just saw Kat Levasseur score a 9.9 on vault in the first rotation. When we come back, we'll break down the science behind her vault